Mix TV presents the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show. Presented by Check Into Cash, your one-stop money shop. Also by Hearties. Hearties taste like America. Now it's time for your local sports highlights and interviews with your host, Ryan Lovelace.
Welcome to the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show presented by Check Into Cash and Hearties. I'm your host, Ryan Lovelace, and today we have an exciting episode recapping our first week of football and previewing next week. We have some great interviews with our male performer of the week and also our female performer of the week. Plus, we have a big preview of a big rivalry game, a little spoiler there, coming up later in the show. And also to end the show, we have my favorite segment, a new segment. It's called Fails of the Week. You'll see a fail video, and this week's is pretty good. But first, we're going to jump straight in with the Hardee scoreboard from our big first week of high school sports. Starting us off, Pioneer handles their business against Howard. They win 28-13. Meanwhile, Baylor, they had a tough one against Rabun Gap from Georgia. They come out on top by 2 touchdowns, 35-21. Meanwhile, staying in Chattanooga, McCallie shows they're still one of the top teams in the state after 2 back-to-back state championships. They open up this season with a win, beating CCS 46-7. And a big game, Polk County wins their first game since October 26, 2018. They are 0-21 since that game. They beat 1A Copper Basin handedly, 42-19 at home. Silverdale, they were supposed to play East Ridge, but their game got canceled, so instead they found a replacement. They played against the Webb School, who they defeated 42-6. Huge game from Connor DeLashschmidt. Not trying to spoil anything, but you may see him later this episode. And then in Ray County, the defending state champs Alcoa go to Ray County and escape with a 4-touchdown victory over Ray, winning 41-13. Meanwhile, up in Meigs County, they're looking to make their 3rd straight state championship. They started their season off with a big win, 30-point win over Sweetwater. Up in McMinn County, the crosstown rivalry game to open the season. The McMinn County Cherokees throw a shutout against McMinn Central. Their rivals make that winning streak even longer against them. They win 27-0. Keeping it with our crosstown rivalry games, East Hamilton takes care of a young Ottawa team. Ottawa missing a lot of players due to COVID and injury. But East Hamilton takes a 20-point win, 33-13 at home. And then on the new turf at Walker Valley, a program we've just seen that's completely turned around in the past year. Walker Valley dominates Notre Dame, 37-0, the shutout. Down at Finley Stadium, Bradley, their turf is not ready, so they had to play a home game at Finley Stadium. They show they're still the Bradley football team we know and love. They win 33-6. Little Aiden McClary injury. We may talk about that later. We hope he's good to go this week. And then finally, completing the Bradley County sweep, the underdog Cleveland Blue Raiders go down to Red Bank. And they take care of business. They win 17-10. They were up 17-0 at one point. Red Bank tried to battle back. Great game from all our Bradley County teams. Meanwhile, on the volleyball court, we had Bradley and Walker play. Bradley won 3-0, and they traveled to the showdown at the Sun Sphere and won first place in the bronze division. Meanwhile, Cleveland Volleyball was also there. They finished 3rd in the gold division, first out of all the Tennessee teams. They beat reigning state champs Brentwood, they beat Siegel, and many other powerhouses. That's all for our Hardee scoreboard update. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to send it over to an interview with our male performer of the week. Ryan Lovelace here at Silverdale Baptist Academy, joined by our male performer of the week, Connor DeLashschmidt. Connor, you ran for 236 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Webb School, but most importantly, you guys came out of here with a 42-6 win. Can you tell me more about that game?
Yeah, so we had a lot of people perform that night. We had our quarterback that scored 2 touchdowns. Obviously, I scored 3, and then a couple wide receivers like Turner Junkins that were scoring. And even on our defensive side of the ball, we had a scoop and score. So we're scoring all over the place. We have a lot of people, a lot of athletes that can score. So
you touched on some other players on your team. How great has this offensive line and defense been so far this year?
Good. So, we have an entire returning offensive line. So our offensive line is a lot more mature, a lot better. I think that's going to help us on the upside. And our defensive line is going to be really good. I mean, like I said, we have everyone returning back from last year. So we should be really, really solid, and we're taught really hard. So it's all about persistency and work hard.
So a little switch up. You were supposed to play East Ridge, and then you find out you're playing the Webb School. How did that change your game plan, if at all?
I feel like it kind of shocked us at first. I feel like our only problems were getting ready for the game because like we were coming in Thursday not knowing that we had a game. Like we were told that we weren't going to have a game. So coming in Thursday, it was really hard to trying to get back into like the feel of like, okay, I need to get mentally ready for the game. So it was kind of weird in that aspect, but I think we came out ready to play.
So what are your goals this year individually and as a team?
As a team, I would love to make it to state. We made it to state first round last year, so I definitely play longer in the state tournament. And I think me personally, it's always been my dream to win Mr. Football. So if I could even become a finalist, that would be amazing. And just to get more all-purpose yards than last year, because I've been building on my career stats ever since freshman year. So
yeah. So what NFL player do you try to model your game after, or what NFL player is your idol?
I would say Saquon Barkley or Marshawn Lynch, just because they're dogs. They work so hard. They run so hard, and that's who I would want to run like. So.
Heck yeah. This has been Ryan Lovelace at Silverdale Baptist Academy with our male performer of the week, Connor DeLashschmidt. Now we'll send it over to the Cleveland Country Club to visit with our female performer of the week, Hannah Nall. Ryan Lovelace here at the Cleveland Country Club, joined by our female performer of the week, Hannah Nall. Hannah, you've had an excellent season. You've already won 5 matches, most notably Monday against Bradley and Walker Valley. You shot 4 under in a 9-hole match. So obviously you've been very successful. So can you tell us more about not only your success, but the team's success this year?
Yeah, we're playing really good this year. This is the best season we've had by far out of the 4 years I've played for Cleveland. We are all really good friends, and it makes us just be way more driven and want to really do good this year. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season.
That's awesome. So looking forward to the rest of the season, what are some of your goals this year individually and also from a team standpoint?
Individually, I want to win state. I think I have a good chance this year. And then as a team, I'm pretty sure we can make it through regions. We're playing really good, like I said earlier. And to get top 5 at state, that'd be our best finish ever for Cleveland golf in a state tournament.
So you're committed to play golf, stay here in Cleveland at Lee University. What ultimately led you to make that decision to play at Lee?
I love the coaches. Coach Maupin, he's a great guy. He really cares about you, and he's really nice, and he's always there to have your back and motivate you. And I also feel like not only will he help me with my 4 years of golf there, but with what I want to do in the future after college, because I want to stay in the golf world for my career. And so I think it'd be I get a lot of things good out of it. And also the team, I love the girls on the team, and we're going to be really good. I feel like we can win national championships. And they also got my childhood best friend, Kendall Shamlin, to play there. And it's hard to say no to somebody that got you and your best friend to play for him.
That's awesome. So lastly, what professional golfer do you idolize or model your game after?
I idolize Annika Sorensen. She is just a really good golfer. She's one of the best women golfers to ever come through the game. She's really motivating, and her swing is like one of the best swings ever. So I always am trying to be the best I can and be really close to her.
This has been Ryan Lovelace at the Cleveland Country Club, joined by our female performer of the week, Hannah Nall. Now we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back to talk about our game preview of the week. You're watching the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show, presented by Check Into Cash and Hearties on Mix 104.1.
Did you wake up craving a made-from-scratch biscuit topped with tender prime rib and a fried egg? How about now? The new prime rib and fried egg biscuit at Hardee. Feed your happy.
You're watching the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show, presented by Check Into Cash and Hearties. Now back to your host, Ryan Lovelace.
Ryan Lovelace here at Walker Valley High School, home of our game of the week, joined by Jackson McGowan, Ryan Lay, Kyler Paris, and Spencer Jackson. Guys, last week, a big win on the turf versus Notre Dame. How awesome was it not only to play on the turf, but to come out with a win in week 1?
Man, the turf was just so much fun to play on. It was great. And then the environment, all the crowd, it was so much fun. And it was even better to get that first win, start off the season on a strong note.
That's awesome. So tonight, obviously, it's the big game versus Bradley at 7:30. What are your guys' key to coming out with a win?
So last year we weren't really prepared to win that game. We got up 21-0, got our emotions up, and just let it slip out. That's just we gotta be more even keel this year and just keep our emotions in check.
I think a big thing for us this year is to not look at Bradley as some special team when they're just like any other team we can play. Just go out and do our job, and we'll come out with a win.
So we're going to start with Spencer and go down the line. What are your individual goals this year? And then somebody tell us what the team goals are for this year.
My goal this year is probably just to lead all these younger kids, try to get them to be even better than years coming, and just keep it a winning program.
Kind of building off what he said, just keep the wins in the program, keep that dog mentality on defense, and just dominate on offense.
Yeah, just to build up the kids below me, keep the wins coming in, and help build a program and not just a team.
Building off what they said, like make a dynasty here where we're just dominant. We're a dominant team, and Walker Valley's always on top, and we're not always the third in the county.
So what are the team's goals for this year?
Our 3 team goals are win region, back-to-back winning seasons, and get third round in the playoffs.
All right. So lastly, what NFL player do you think you play like the most?
I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm a little Alvin Kamara.
I would say George Kittle.
Patrick Mahomes.
I'm a little husky guy, so I'd say Vince Wilfork.
All right, you heard it here first. Jackson McGowan is a little Vince Wilfork. This has been Ryan Lovelace, joined by Jackson McGowan / Vince Wilfork, Ryan Lay, Kyler Paris, and Spencer Jackson here at Walker Valley High School. You can tune into the game tonight at 7:30 on Mix 104.1 or Talk 101.3 The Buzz. It will also be live streamed on Mix TV. Now we'll send it over to Bradley to talk with Aiden McClary. Ryan Lovelace here at Bradley Central High School, joined by quarterback Aiden McClary. Aiden, last week you guys went down, played at Finley Stadium, technically a home game. You guys won 33-6. Can you tell me more about how that game went?
Yeah, honestly, we started out pretty slow, I guess just the first game jitters, But we settled in and figured it out, and we ended up coming up pretty big win.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, obviously this week, big game against Walker Valley. What do you think the key to success is for this Bradley Central football team?
We got a game plan. We got to stick to the game plan, and we also just got to go out there. We got to play hard.
Awesome. So, again, an emotional rivalry week, but then you play at Cleveland next week. How are you guys preparing, not just physically, but emotionally for all the trash talk of these 2 rivalry weeks back to back to back?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to take it week by week. So, like this week, we're really focused about Walker Valley. We'll come in Sunday, and then we'll get our mind right for Cleveland.
That's awesome. So what individual goals do you have this season, and what goals do you have from the team standpoint?
From the team standpoint, I just want to reach our potential, get to whatever our farthest way is, Individual, I just want to be able to be a leader to my team, go out there, be a confidence booster.
And last question, what NFL player do you think you resemble the most?
I'll just go with Dak Prescott.
All right, thank you. This has been Aiden McClary at Bradley Central High School. Now we'll send it back to the studio. Now for our last and final segment, and personally my favorite, especially this week's, we have our fail of the week. And this one comes right here from Cleveland High School, from Cleveland High School's very own Kinsley McGowan. Let's take a look. We had to play that one twice because of how brutal that was. Kinsley, one of my good friends, she got up after that and continued to play in that match after taking that brutal hit to the face. And that just hurts to watch. But to Kinsley McGowan's credit, she got back in that game after taking that brutal hit. No concussion, a little nosebleed. She got that fixed up, and she was back out there to help the Raiders continue their hot run as a volleyball team. And as I said, I'd love to make this a weekly segment, but some of those videos are hard to find. So if you have a fail of the week and you want to send it in, you can send it into my social medias. You can see them on the screen. But as for this, I hope you enjoyed the show this week. This has been the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show presented by Check Into Cash and Hearties. I'm your host, Ryan Lovelace. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show, presented by Check Into Cash and Hearties. We will see you back here next week.